Hey, what's up, guys? I'm David DiMuzio.
And I'm Steve Cook.
This is Locklab, where we help you lock in your hair for life. But you're not going to be able to lock in your hair if you're too stupid for Finasteride. Now, I just say this as a joke, but unfortunately, I have all these people calling me constantly that just don't seem to get it when it comes to finasteride. So I want to kind of read you a few messages from personal friends of mine whose names I will change, who I'm trying to help out with their hair. And it's just not going anywhere. So let me give it, we'll call this guy Bob. And Bob and I have known each other for like 10 years, starting to go bald. And I've been telling him probably for that whole 10 years that he needs to get on finasteride if he wants to keep his hair. He's trying to set up a hair transplant right now. He actually already has it booked, but he still is not on finasteride. He's going to be in Miami. He usually lives overseas. And he said, could you send me the names of the medication to get in Miami? That would be great. And also, if prescription, how do I get it? I wrote back to him, finasteride, 1 milligram, brand name Propecia, which is just the safest thing to easily get on if someone doesn't know what they're doing. And I told him to grab some oral minoxidil, 2.5 milligrams, brand name Lonitin. He's overseas, so I figure he's going to be in the US. He should be able to just do this pretty quickly. I said, you need to get a doctor's prescription is the thing. So he writes me back a couple weeks later when he's in Miami and says, hey, David, last day in Miami, is there anything I can buy from CVS which I don't need a prescription for? So now he hasn't gotten finasteride. He hasn't gotten the oral minoxidil I suggested. And now he's just asking me, is there anything I can get at CVS that I don't need a prescription for? Like, how hard is this? I've literally texted him exactly what he needs to do. But this is so common. This is the thing. It's not like this guy. It's people that we talk to almost every day. So I wrote back and said, you can buy Propecia at any pharmacy in the world. You just need a prescription in some countries. You should get on that as soon as possible. He wrote back, so you think I can get it in Singapore? Does Propecia contain the required medication? I said, yes, it contains what you need most. He said, could you send me a screenshot of what to look for when I get to Singapore? Propecia. It's just a brand name of a drug. If you go into any pharmacy in the world and say, give me some Propecia, that's it. There's nothing more to do. He's asking me, can you send me a screenshot of what the bottle of Propecia looks like? I don't get it.
I think they're overthinking it, David. It's really important, and maybe in the trials and tribulations of life every day, that we forget or they forget that it's a prescription and that's what's needed. It is definitely a prescription. There's 2 medications in there that are going to need a prescription for. There's ways that you can follow the channel and take a look on how to get this combined. But in the meantime, if you're in Singapore or overseas or in Florida, you're looking at some minoxidil and Propecia, or if the generic version is finasteride. It's as simple as that. We don't really see where the confusion is, but there's a lot of confusion.
I wrote here on Instagram, I might put the screenshot on the screen. I'll have to block out some people's names, but there's a popular audio engineer that I'm a big fan of. And I could tell that he's losing quite a lot of his hair. And so I thought, I'm going to write him and just see, hey, is that cool with you? Or like, do you want to keep your hair? Maybe you should do this. I run a hair transplant channel or hair loss channel on YouTube. I told him about some medication that we talk about here that he should get on. He said, even if I made some progress, I'd be thrilled. I basically just made peace with the fact that I'm going to have to get plugs at some point if I want to have a normal hairline again. Haha. Again, he's completely uneducated on hair loss. He doesn't understand the fact that if he's not on this medication, that he's not going to have a good hair transplant. And even though he's, a popular audio engineer, he probably makes a pretty good living, he's not going to be able to just keep getting hair transplant after hair transplant and wait till he's totally bald to even start. It just doesn't work like that at all. I wrote back to him basically, no ethical hair transplant surgeon would do surgery on you if you aren't on finasteride for at least 6 months prior to having any surgery with them, because he is fairly young actually, and haven't basically committed to them to stay on it indefinitely. I've talked to him a few different times since then about this and getting on this medication. I'm going to give you one guess, Steve. Do you think that he's taking any medication now? This, I think our text was about 6 to 12 months ago.
Probably not.
He is not. No, he is not taking any medication still. I don't get it, guys. No one has to go bald. There's medication that will do this. It's not that inconvenient. It's not that inexpensive. Most guys do not have any negative side effects. I've been on it for off and on for like 18 to 20 years, off and on it for 18 to 20 years. I should have never gone off of it. How long have you been on it?
19 years.
And no negative side effects I've ever experienced. Steve's never experienced any. My brothers who are all on it have never experienced any negative side effects. Again, do people? I'm sure that they do, but it is very rare. We want you guys to keep your hair, so lock it in.